What's your I didn't start it, but I definitely finished it moment? Story 1. So this happened about 2 years ago, during my first year in college. I had this guy Nicholas in my statistics class who kept asking me out despite me saying no like 5 times. After the final rejection, he started giving me these weird looks, but I didn't think much of it. One night, I'm walking back to my car after a late study session, and I see someone crouched by my tire. As I get closer, I realize it's Nicholas, and he's letting the air out of my tire. I'm not confrontational at all, so I just quietly backed away and took pics from behind a tree. He didn't see me. I was furious, but also scared because WTF? Who does that? But instead of confronting him directly, I decided to play the long game. The next day in class, I acted completely normal, even smiled at him. He looked confused, but seemed pleased. After class, I approached him all friendly and was like, "Hey, can you help me with this stats problem? Maybe we could study together." His face lit up like I just asked him to marry me El Mao. We agreed to meet at the campus coffee shop that evening. I showed up early and waited. When he arrived, I acted super sweet for about 5 minutes before sliding my phone across the table with the pics of him messing with my tire. The color literally drained from his face. I told him I'd already emailed the pics to campus security, the dean's office, and my parents. Then I showed him the text I'd drafted to send to every girl in our class warning them about him, my finger hovering over send. He started begging, saying it was just a joke. He only wanted me to need a ride so he could offer to help. I told him he had 2 options. 1, I press charges for vandalism and get him expelled. Or 2, he pays for 4 brand new tires for my car, not just the one he messed with, and transfers to a different class section. The bill for the tires came to over $600. He paid it the next day, and I never saw him in my class again. Story 2. We moved into this cute little house with an amazing backyard where I immediately started a vegetable garden. Put so much work into it. Built raised beds, installed irrigation, the works. One day I noticed footprints through my garden and several plants damaged. Weird, but maybe an animal? Then it happens again. And again. Always when I'm not home. After the 3rd time, I noticed some vegetables were actually missing. Like someone was harvesting my stuff. I set up a wildlife camera hidden in a tree and caught my neighbor Sylvia climbing over our shared fence and literally picking my vegetables. She even brought a little basket. The footage made my blood boil. Instead of confronting her immediately, I decided to do something different. I planted a new row of vegetables, but this time I planted ghost peppers and habaneros right next to my regular bell peppers. They looked similar enough if you weren't paying attention. Sure enough, my camera caught Sylvia coming back. She went straight for the peppers, picking several of the super hot ones along with some tomatoes. I watched the footage live from work and nearly died laughing. That evening I heard screaming from next door. Then her husband came pounding on my door demanding to know what I did to his wife. I calmly showed him the footage of his wife trespassing and stealing from my garden. His face went from angry to mortified in seconds. Apparently Sylvia had made a nice bell pepper salad and took 1 bite before her mouth was literally on fire. She had to go to urgent care because her lips swelled up so bad. Story 3. So back when I was in high school, there was this girl, Fabian's girlfriend, who hated me for no reason. Let's call her Lily. She was convinced I was trying to steal her boyfriend, even though I literally never spoke to Fabian. One day I opened my locker and find a small baggie of weed and a note that said, "I know what you did." I panicked because our school had a zero tolerance policy and I could have been expelled. I knew immediately it was Lily trying to set me up. I took the stuff to the bathroom, flushed the weed, and tried to figure out what to do. I was freaking out because I knew she'd Fabianably tell a teacher to search my locker. But then I remembered, my dad had given me this tiny voice recorder for safety when walking home alone. I had it in my backpack. A plan formed in my mind. Next day, I put the recorder in my pocket and approached Lily when she was with her friends. I straight up asked her why she put drugs in my locker. She laughed and denied it at first, but I kept pushing, saying I had proof and witnesses. She got nervous and pulled me aside, away from her friends. That's when she admitted it, thinking we were alone. She bragged about how she was going to get me expelled because she thought Fabian had a crush on me. She even threatened to plant more stuff if I didn't stay away from her man. Little did she know I was recording everything. I didn't say a word, just walked away while she looked confused. Instead of going to the principal, I went to Lily's parents' workplace. Her mom was a bank manager and her dad worked at the same place. I played them the recording of their daughter admitting to planting drugs on another student. They were horrified. They grounded her, made her apologize to me in front of the principal, and she had to do community service chosen by her parents for months.